there and welcome. It's Christina Johnson here, transformational nutrition coach and the founder of the Emerge Weight Loss Method. And if you have ever wondered how often you should eat during the day when you're trying to lose weight, maybe you've heard some conflicting information or advice on this, then I think you're going to find today's video really helpful. Because a lot of people tell me that they have heard that you should eat every 2 hours when you're trying to lose weight to keep your metabolism going. Or, that you should eat 5 to 6 small meals a day when you're working on weight loss. And, the truth is, after working with, hundreds of women now and helping them lose weight, and after really looking at the latest research on nutrition and weight loss, I just really believe that this is not the most helpful advice. And so that's what I want to do today, is to clear that up a little bit, because here's the problem, and I hear this often from people. There's a few issues with trying to eat 5 or 6 times a day. I mean, first of all, it can feel like you're just always thinking about food and when it's time to eat next. I mean, every couple of hours trying to eat something, that's a good portion of your day you're spending eating. Plus, the other thing, and I remember this myself, when I worked as a school counselor outside of the house, I remember bringing this huge lunch bag full of food with me every day that I had to plan and prep for, because I needed my morning snack and I needed my lunch and I needed my afternoon snack. And honestly, eating 5 or 6 times a day just takes a lot of planning and preparation. And a lot of us just don't have the time to do that, or it's hard to fit it into our schedule to eat that often. But I think one of the biggest issues is that in actuality, when you're constantly fueling your body with food, your body has this constant source of calories to burn for energy and for fuel for your body. And so your body is always using the fuel from the food you're eating, and it's never able to actually turn to burn stored body fat. And so that is one of, I think, the biggest drawbacks for most of us when we're eating so often throughout the day. So I am curious, before I dive in and share with you how I recommend to people in the Emerge program to time their meals throughout the day, so we'll go over all of that. Before I do though, I am curious to hear if you've ever given that a try, where you are eating 5 or 6 small meals a day or trying to eat every 2 hours. Will you just type a 1 in the comments if you've ever done that? And there's no judgment here, no right or wrong. I'm just curious to know if you have tried that. I definitely have tried it in the past. So type a 1 in the comments. And then I'm also interested to know, how did it work for you? Because the one caveat that I want to give before giving you my full recommendation is that I firmly believe there is not a one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to really any topic, or very, very few topics with health and weight loss, because we're all so different. Our bodies are different, our genetics are different, our metabolism, our lifestyle, our schedule, all of that is so different. And so even in the Emerge program, when I'm working with clients, I give them this general recommendation, but then we really work to figure out how to personalize it for their body and their situation and their lifestyle. So just know, when I give you my recommendation, that you might need to modify it a little bit to make it work well for you. So let's dive in. My basic recommendation, and this is what I teach in the Emerge Weight Loss program, is that we want to aim to eat every 3 to 6 hours. So that means we eat a meal and then we're not consuming any snacks, no grazing, no beverages with calories. I mean, you could have herbal tea and things like that, but you eat a meal and then there's no calories consumed for 3 to 6 hours. And then you eat again, and then you don't snack, you don't graze for another 3 to 6 hours. And so that is the general recommendation that we work towards in the Emerge program. Now, I want to first I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how we ease into that, but first, I want to just give you some benefits, why it might be helpful to consider this approach versus eating 5 or 6 times a day. The one benefit, I alluded to this already, is that when you eat a meal and then don't eat again for a few hours, that gives your body time to turn inward. And when you start to feel a little hunger or your body needs fuel, it's going to burn stored body fat to use as fuel. And so by giving yourself a break from food throughout the day, you're actually able to burn fat a little more easily. So that's one huge benefit that a lot of people really appreciate when you're wanting to lose weight. But in addition, there's a few other things that happen as well. I think one thing just mentally that helps is setting a clear boundary for yourself. Like, I eat breakfast and then I don't eat again till lunch. It really helps mentally cut out a lot of the mindless snacking and grazing that's so easy to do throughout the day. I mean, how often do you like walk by a candy dish and just grab it without thinking, or somebody offers you some food and you just accept it? But when you really train yourself to eat a meal and then to just not eat till it's time to eat again, it really helps cut back that mindless snacking, that grazing, which really ultimately becomes overeating. And that's what makes it really hard and can slow down your weight loss. So I think that's one other really big benefit to eating every 3 to 6 hours, is it just cuts that out. In addition, I made some notes here so I don't forget anything. Another benefit to eating every 3 to 6 hours is that it gives your digestive system a break. The process of digestion takes a lot of energy for your body. And so by just, taking that break, not giving your digestive system food to constantly be digesting, most people find that they just feel a little bit better. And that kind of leads to my next benefit, which is that people find that once they get into this routine of eating every 3 to 6 hours, they just are feeling better throughout the day. Like, their brain feels a little more sharp and focused. Their energy's more stable. We don't have those energy drops throughout the day. Their digestion starts to, just work a little bit better. And so they just feel more stable throughout the day by having those set meal times. And then the other benefit is that you get to stop thinking about food so often, because it is, like I said, it just takes a lot of mental energy to plan out 5 or 6 meals or snacks a day. And so by just cutting that back, you save so much time because you're not planning as much. You're not spending so much time eating and thinking about food. So there's lots of benefits to this approach of eating less often throughout the day. And I want to give a big warning though, and this is really important, is that we need to work up to this approach. Because, has this ever happened to you? Click the like button or just type a me in the comments if you've ever waited too long to eat and you just don't feel good. And if this has happened, you know what I'm talking about, where maybe you wait too long to eat and you start getting lightheaded or a little shaky, or sometimes people get nauseous or just irritable, hangry. Those are all signs that your blood sugar is dropping too low. And I do not recommend allowing yourself get to that point. And so when you're first starting out trying to wait longer, we really have to make sure that we're balancing your blood sugar. So this is what we do in the Emerge program. It's a step-by-step process to ease into this, because I genuinely do not want you to wait so long to eat that you don't feel good. So what we want to do is get our body healthier so that we can wait longer to eat and feel good that entire time. So how we do that in the Emerge program, step 1, really the biggest step, is we eat balanced meals. We eat the right combination of food at every meal, starting with breakfast, which is super important, because when you have that right combination of foods, it will keep your blood sugar stable throughout the day. So it will feel easier. You will feel okay waiting longer to eat. You're not going to get the hangry feeling, the lightheaded, nauseous, irritable feeling, because your blood sugar is not plummeting. So that is really step 1, is eating that right combination of foods to keep your blood sugar stable. Then it's healthy and safe to wait longer to eat. The other part though is as we eat that right combination of foods, then all of a sudden you start to feel more full and satisfied. Because the intent here is not to feel hungry and miserable and just be thinking for hours, oh, when can I eat my next meal? That is not what we want either, because that causes more stress with food. So here's what a typical day looks like for someone like in the Emerge program, for example, who's following these recommendations. They will eat a healthy breakfast within a couple hours of waking up. Doesn't have to be immediately, but a couple hours within waking. They'll eat a healthy breakfast that has that right combination of food, and then they just feel full and satisfied until lunchtime. And that means there's no cravings. They're not having an energy dip. They're not thinking about food. I had someone yesterday and today already just tell me that, it gets to lunchtime, like 12:31, and they're like, oh, yeah, I should probably eat. I'm starting to get hungry. And that is the goal when you eat that right combination of foods. And then you eat your lunch and you eat that healthy, balanced lunch. And again, you can go hours without thinking about food. Your energy stays stable in the afternoon. You're not having that mid-afternoon energy slump, and you feel good. And so you get to, maybe at like 3 hours after lunch, depending on when you eat supper. Some people feel like they need a snack in the mid-afternoon. Some people don't. And again, that's where it has to be personalized to your schedule and your life. So maybe you have, a healthy, balanced snack in the afternoon. And then, that keeps your energy and everything going until supper time. And then you eat a balanced meal, and then you're done for the night. And I can just tell you that when you're doing this, like I said, you're giving your body a lot more opportunity to burn stored fat, which will help with weight loss. And you're just not going to be thinking about food all the time. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits that I hear over and over from people who are taking this approach, is that they feel this freedom from food. They're not thinking about food. They're not feeling hungry. They just feel good. So I will be talking a lot more next week about eating the right combination of foods to keep your blood sugar balanced, to turn off the hunger hormones. I call it the mealtime power combo. But if you are interested and want to learn more about that, I have a resource that I put together where I talk about, I go through each part of the mealtime power combo. So if you want me to send you that guide so that you can learn more how to implement this for yourself, type mealtime power combo in the comments and I will reach out and get that over to you. Because like I said, it really is, it has so many benefits to be eating these balanced meals. And one is that you are able to go longer without needing to eat and you still feel good. So hopefully this all makes sense to you. If you have any questions, or comments, feel free to put them in the comments. I would love to hear what you think about this. And if you think it could be helpful for you or not. And if you want the guide with more information on the mealtime power combo, just type that into the comments as well. All right, we will talk again soon. Thanks so much for watching today. Bye.